I've been seeing a lot of videos demoing the new digital assistant Samsung's been working on. They're so confident about it, they're adding a button, which is pretty rare nowadays, to their Galaxy lineup. It seems like they're gonna be adding it on the Note 8. They've already added it to the Galaxy S8, and a lot of people didn't have nice things to say about it. At first on the Galaxy S8, you could route that button to anything you wanted. So if you wanted that side button to activate Google Now, or the camera, or the weather, or whatever you want, you could do that. But afterwards, Samsung said, no, that is the Bixby button, which only activates Bixby. And right now, Bixby is just kind of like a little widgets page. It's essentially Google Now, but it's not Google. Because Samsung and Google, right, even though they're pretty close, they're also pretty far away, and they compete in a lot of ways. So the actual talking part of Bixby wasn't ready yet when the Galaxy S8 was released, and now it's becoming ready for more and more people. And of course, I've been seeing all of the demos of it on YouTube, and I have to say they've done some pretty cool stuff with it. The primary mission when they started Bixby was that you'll be able to do anything you can do on your phone with the touchscreen now with your voice, which is quite an ambitious task. That's quite a lot of things we do with the touchscreen, and I'm very impressed that at least so far they've been able to understand what you are saying and articulate it into interactions with the smartphone itself. That's impressive. I also want to applaud Samsung for being a little original. When I heard they were working on Bixby, I thought it was just gonna be another digital assistant that will be even faster than the Google Assistant. Then we can put them next to each other and see how fast they can tell us how much fat is in an avocado. So revolutionary. AI is really just taking off. How many stars are there in the Milky Way? Wow, Bixby finished in 0.001 seconds. Impressive. That would have been boring. I would not have cared about it. I would have been like, great, you guys are both so smart, keep fighting each other. But instead, Samsung was like, no, let's make our digital assistant do some things that others don't. I'm pretty confident that the Google Assistant and Siri cannot do these interacting with the phone features that Bixby can. So overall, I do think that's impressive. However, here's the apple sheep side of the story. I don't think that Bixby is going to catch on with that new idea. I'm trying to think of common scenarios in which you would not want to actually touch your phone and just talk to it, and yet still see what's on the display. Okay, so you could be getting arrested and you're handcuffed and you're trying to interact with your phone. You're trying to check your notifications or open the messages app and text someone this. Because obviously, if you want to see notifications, you're close enough to your phone that you can visually see it, but if you want to tell your phone to open the notification window, you aren't close enough to touch it. Because in these demo videos, at least, they're not saying, read me my notifications. They're just saying, open the notifications tab, open the calculator, which confused me as soon as I was watching this demo, because I was like, why open the calculator if you could just ask the phone, what's 18 times 7? Because Siri and Google can do that no problem. But you want to call the phone to a command to launch an application that you have to touch the phone to interact with. So does talking to Bixby actually save you that much time? Or is this just kind of a very small niche feature that will only be really useful for the physically impaired, which there's nothing wrong with that. If there's some people out there who don't have fully functional hands or fingers, for them, Bixby is great, and I'm fully happy for you. But I feel like everyone else who is used to just touching and interacting with their phone, they're not gonna find that Bixby saves them much time, because there's very few situations in which I think you need to see the phone but not actually touch it. Maybe if your hands are really messy, you're like cooking in the kitchen but you still want to see your notifications, you still want to use your phone just by your voice. But again, not a very popular scenario. So occasionally I could see Bixby being useful, but if they really want it to compete, and I think if you really want to put a button on the phone dedicated to Bixby, it has to be, I think, more practical than that. It has to be something people go to all the time, and I don't think it is. Not to mention, every time you want to call a command to the phone, you have to say that term, hi Bixby. So the guys in these videos are going, hi Bixby, do this, hi Bixby, do this, hi Bixby, do this. That gets a bit redundant, and I feel like if you were around other people, they wouldn't appreciate you the whole time going, hi Bixby, show me photos, hi Bixby, edit this photo, hi Bixby, add the cream effect. Socially, I think that's a little awkward. So while I'm very impressed by this new technology that will be useful to a couple people, I don't think it's going to change the game, and I definitely don't think that Bixby is cool enough to deserve its own button. How they're all talking about, you know, you can use Bixby to interact with the phone and use every feature it has. That implies that you don't need to actually touch and handle the phone. If you don't need to actually touch and handle the phone, why have a button on it dedicated to that assistant? That's why I'm so confused by all this. It's so much easier to just swipe down on the display than it is to say, hi Bixby, open notifications, and then have it think for a second and then do that command, and then have Bixby repeat back to you, okay, I have opened notification. That's the other thing. It has to tell you what it does every single time. Okay, I just opened notifications. Okay, I opened the calculator. It's a show-off feature. It's something that looks good on paper, but I think in practicality and in the real world, that's not going to be super useful. And that's probably why the Google Assistant isn't going to try to do that, and definitely why Siri is not going to try to do that. But Siri has its own set of battles it still needs to conquer. And who knows, Google and Samsung do like to compete, so perhaps the Google Assistant will try to match up Bixby with that feature. And again, I don't think anyone will use it, but they may try. Let me know what you think of Bixby in the comments below. Do you think this would be a practical feature, or is it just something that looks good in a demo, but is not something you really use on a day-to-day basis? This is your Apple Shape here, and I will see you in the next one.